Support WrestleTalk!
Click the thumbs up.
Wrestling titles. Sometimes they swap hands faster than a hot potato. Sometimes you can't pry them from someone's vice-like grip. And sometimes they go AWOL for so long you forget just how gross that red really is. As the WWE title has been around for longer than most, a solid 55 years, it's had more than its fair share of ups and downs. Although the prestige of the promotion's top prize remains relatively strong to this day, we have had several championship reigns that have caused rolled eyes, furrowed brows, and lips mouthing, I'm El Fakador Laurie Blake, and here are 15 of the most bizarre WWE title reigns in history. Number 15, Bray Wyatt. It's rare that the WWE title is a wrestler's first belt won in a promotion, but that was the case with Bray Wyatt in 2017. Despite lurking around the main roster for several years and featuring in some big storylines, the Wyatt family leader never won championship gold. That all changed at Elimination Chamber in 2017 when this literal mid-carder unseated John Cena to begin a 49-day reign as champion. He then lost the title to Randy Orton at WrestleMania 34 in a match with the maggots and the flies being all projected on the ring because it's spooky, until you realise that he would have had to source the video, hand it over to the projectionist, give him the cues of when to play them during the match, and then it all just seems really rather contrived. Number 14, Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan won the title from John Cena in a cracking match at SummerSlam 2013, beating him clean in the middle of the ring, which just didn't happen to Big Match John at the time. It was a huge endorsement for D-Bry, one capped off by guest referee Triple H putting him over at the end of the match, before putting him under about 5 minutes later when he drills him with a pedigree, allowing Randy Orton to come out, cash his money in the bank contract in, and win the title basically immediately. Hell of an injustice. Well, at least they did right by Bryan after that. Number 13, Daniel Bryan again. 1 month after SummerSlam, Bryan beat Orton at Night of Champions 2013, starting his second run with the belt. Run's a bit generous really, because it was more like a baby learning to walk during an avalanche. Because of a supposed fast count from the referee, which did not happen, Bryan was stripped of the title by Authority Chief Triple H the following night on Raw. And this was the point that fans started to turn on the product and vocally rebel against what they were seeing, which led to WWE finally doing right by Bryan. Number 12, Daniel Bryan again. Yes, again. Bryan was added to the WrestleMania 30 title match between Batista and Randy Orton because of fan backlash against WWE booking and his two really tiny title reigns that he'd already had. Bryan's win was essentially the finale in an incredible wrestling journey and one of the coolest WrestleMania moments of all time, in my opinion, and also in the opinion of whoever edits WWE's video packages, because that is everywhere. But yet again, Bryan only managed a couple of months as champion, taking a backseat to a feud between Evolution and The Shield while he was feuding with Kane. Then, a neck injury at the hands of Sheamus caused him to be stripped of the title a mere 2 months after he won it. Well done, you massive Celt. Number 11, Hulk Hogan. Hogan returned to WWE in 2002 as part of the NWO, and despite being a heel in kayfabe, and secretly in real life, fans were so happy to see their childhood hero back after 9 years, WWE basically had to do something. Hogan lost to Rock the Dwayne Johnson at Mania 18, but he was quickly thrust into a title match with Triple H at Backlash, where he walked away with the belt a full 18 years after he first won it. Bizarrely, Hogan was also the last ever WWF champion, as he held the title as the company changed its name to WWE, and then he just dropped the belt in a dreadful match against The Undertaker at Judgment Day. Number 10, JBL. Back in 2004, prior to winning the WWE Championship, JBL was a mid-card tag team act. In 8 years with the company as Justin Hawk Bradshaw, Blackjack Bradshaw, or just Bradshaw, he hadn't actually achieved all that much, and definitely wasn't really considered championship material. Except he was, apparently, and he beat Eddie Guerrero to do it. And then abracadabra, this one-note cowboy was transformed into a mini Mr. McMahon with a hat the size of his ego. So needless to say, it was a bit of a shock when JBL won the title, but he did actually eventually grow into a great heel character. Number 9, Jinder Mahal. At first glance, JBL and Jinder Mahal don't seem all that similar. One is a walking, talking stereotype, the kind that WWE should have done away with years ago, and the other is Jinder Mahal. But the two were both nobody mid-carders when they rose like meteors to the top of the roster, and just like meteors, they wiped out everything in their path until there was nothing left but death. In 2017, Jinder was jobbing out to jobbers on Raw before moving to SmackDown and suddenly receiving a mega push, all in the name of global expansion. Within 6 months, he had the title and the departed souls of all the careers he killed by coming into contact with them. Yay, Jinder. Number 8. Kane. When he first arrived in WWE in 1997, the Big Red Machine had but one function: put over The Undertaker. So, when in 1998 he won the title from Steve Austin in a First Blood match in which he had also promised to set himself on fire should he lose, it was a big shock. Not as big as if he'd actually set himself on fire, but it was like the second biggest shock outcome. Austin was obviously the man the company's future rested upon at the time, so he naturally won the belt back the next day in a match on Raw. Meaning that in 21 years with the company, Mayor Glenn has been champ for just a single day. Number 7. Rey Mysterio. 2011 was the summer of Punk, after Big Philly Style defeated John Cena at Money in the Bank and then left the company, leaving WWE without a champion. 8 nights later on Raw, Rey Mysterio won a tournament to become champ, besting The Miz in the final. Later on the same night, he had to defend against John Cena and lost, making his only run with the belt last just a few ad breaks. And you gotta wonder why people keep chanting that Cena sucks. Punk then re-signed and returned with a title that he hadn't lost, meaning that when Rey was champ, so was Punk. What an absolute tilt-a-whirl of a tits up. Number 6. Rob Van Dam. RVD successfully cashed in his Money in the Bank title shot at the second ECW One Night Stand in 2006. It was not only the first time the WWE title had changed hands on a non-main brand WWE pay-per-view, but Robert Vanessa Dam was also the ECW World Champion at the same time. Another first. The dream ended as quickly as it began though, with RVD dropping the belt to Edge as a punishment for being busted with weed. And on that note, I would just want to wish Matt Riddle good luck at WWE. Number 5. Sergeant Slaughter. So you've probably noticed WWE's sudden coyness about Crown Jewel being in Saudi Arabia in light of recent events in the country. Well, they weren't always so shy. Back in the early 90s, the company decided to cash in on the Gulf War of all things, turning a conflict that had left thousands of people dead into an easily digestible wrestling angle. Sergeant Slaughter had returned after a brief stint in AWA, turned heel, and became an Iraqi sympathizer, even burning the American flag on WWE TV. The expectation from viewers, obviously, was that the Ultimate Warrior would vanquish the evil Slaughter at the Royal Rumble in 1990. It was the Sergeant who marched out with the title. Then, WWE doubled down on the angle, trying to use it to reheat Hulk Hogan at Mania 7. Naturally, the public turned on the promotion, and Mania had to be moved from its original 100,000-seater home to the far smaller Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena. WWE blamed security risks rather than ticket sales for the move, so with that in mind, maybe Crown Jewel should be moved because of ticket sales. Number 4. The Rock. When The Rock returned to WWE in 2011 for his match with Cena at Mania 27, it was a shot in the arm for the promotion, but it was supposed to be a one-off. Obviously, The Rock and Cena weren't done, but before they had 2 whole runbacks, Rock was attacked by WWE champ CM Punk at Raw 1000 in July 2012, which kickstarted a long, slow build to a match at the Royal Rumble 5 months later. Punk won the match initially thanks to assistance from The Shield, only for Vinnie Mac to appear, restart the match, and The Rock to pin Punk. At the time, a part-time champion was a big shock. In the post-Brock Lesnar world, it's a boring reality. Rock then successfully defended against Punk at Elimination Chamber, and then dropped the belt to Cena at Mania 29, getting around that whole once-in-a-lifetime thing thanks to some constitutional loophole abuse. Number 3, Triple H. In 2016, Triple H became the second person ever, after Ric Flair in '92, to win the WWE title by winning the Royal Rumble. Current champ Roman Reigns had to defend the belt for the whole match after entering at number 1. Hunter then just rocks up at 30, chucks Reigns out, followed by Ambrose, winning the belt. This was a semi-retired wrestler and the COO of the company, Paul from the back office, just casually winning a championship and a Rumble in one fell swoop. Cool. Trips then defended the belt on Raw against Dolph Ziggler a few weeks before dropping the title to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Number 2, Vince McMahon. Mr. McMahon was easily one of the most vital characters in WWE during the Attitude Era, but your man is no wrestler. So when in 1999, the 54-year-old owner of the company won the title by beating Triple H on SmackDown with an assist from Stone Cold, it was a little bit silly. Vince, who had dreamed of being a wrestler since he was younger, forfeited the belt on Raw the following week, making the entire thing completely self-indulgent and a waste of everyone's time, not even worth the 3 seconds it takes to count the victory. Number 1, Ted DiBiase. This one started weird and ended weird. Ted had bought the title from Andre the Giant following the fast-counting twin referees controversy. He then went around the house show loop defending the title and shot several televised promos with the belt, leaving no doubt that he was the champion, until he wasn't. President Jack Tunney declared the whole thing a farce, stripped DiBiase of the title, and ordered a tournament to declare the real champion at WrestleMania 4. Since then, DiBiase's title run has been removed from the records and dismissed by WWE as something that never happened. It's just not something that would happen nowadays. There are no cover-ups in WWE now. Where's Crown Jewel taking place again? I'll check the website. Oh. Well, those were bizarre, but there are others, so head over to WrestleTalk.com by clicking the link on screen now to find out some more. And give us a subscribe to stay up to date on all of the latest wrestling news. I've been El Fakador. That was Lucha.